So the burbles on this are actually really insane. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now today is going to be a very special video. You join me inside the W204 Mercedes C63 AMG, the naturally aspirated one. I'm with Car Sales Exclusive once again. This car is under consignment with dealer choice, but it is being sold through Car Sales Exclusive. And once again, I'm with Jay from out here at Car Sales Exclusive. So they are currently running a Black Friday deal on pretty much all their cars, including this one. So please do check out their Instagram to see all the deals, because everything is posted on there. The Instagram is on screen right now. Now I really do hope you guys enjoy this review, and without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here it is, the W204 Mercedes C63 AMG. I think this car needs no introduction. Every new C63 that came out after this one has literally been overshadowed simply because of the engine that this thing has. So yeah, it's a pretty special car. The last naturally aspirated C63 with the infamous 6.3 liter V8, which is a 6.2. 6.3 is more of a heritage thing for AMG, which they've decided to keep throughout all their AMG models. But as you look at it, you will notice a bunch of chrome touches, like down here on the fog lights and on the grille itself, specific to the C63 of this generation. Like with most AMGs, you'll see the power domes, which just make it look so aggressive. Now this car is the facelift, which was first introduced around 2012, I think. And the interesting thing is that previously, so the W204 generation altogether came out in 2008, and before the facelift 2012 cars, there was no coupe. So the coupe was actually introduced with the facelift. Now the facelift has a slightly different shape to the headlights, and you also have the small daytime running light that was introduced. If you come around to the side, you have this very cool looking air curtain that, you know, directs airflow around the bumper. So, but for me personally, I think on the pre-facelift, this vent right here looks much more aggressive. On this generation, it's a little bit more subtle. So if you look at one other thing, the wheel arches are very beefy. Like, this car is very wide. That means, of course, it has a wide track on the front and on the rear to, you know, widen the stance of the car to help it stick on the road much better. So you'll also notice these very big AMG brakes, 6-piston calipers right there with red brake calipers. These very nice looking matte black multi-spoke wheels. Now again, the 6.3 AMG badge right there, which is ever so cool. Coming around to the back, you have a carbon fiber lip spoiler that comes from factory. So the rear, like these exhaust pipes, man oh man, this era of AMG was just insane. So you have the quad tail pipes, which are oval and are embroidered with the AMG logo right there, and you have a kind of rear diffuser going on right there. Pretty cool. So the interior, so jumping inside, one thing that I don't particularly like on this generation is that being a coupe, it has frameless, actually it doesn't have frameless windows. What am I saying? So it doesn't have frameless windows, and it always looks cool on coupes to have frameless windows, but this car doesn't have, which is a bummer really. But anyways, you have an AMG door kick plate, which looks really cool. You have these sport seats, which are very heavily bolstered, as you can see, to hug you in when you're driving aggressively. You have a small AMG badge right there, which is metal, which looks ever so cool. One thing I like, well, another thing that I like about this generation is that you have a double glass panoramic sunroof. On the W205, it's actually just one panel. On this car, it extends all the way to the back, which looks really cool. The interior is still very immaculate for this generation. One thing about this generation of C-Class it's that it aged so well. Like, it doesn't really look dated, in my own opinion. Even the interior, obviously the infotainment stuff like your text, your navigation, that'll be pretty dated, but everything else, like the aesthetics of the interior itself, look pretty nice. You have all the nice gizmos like your heated seats, there's a traction control button right here, there's a reverse camera, there's parking sensors, everything that you expect from a Mercedes-Benz. The interior is all leather. It's also complemented by this nice carbon fiber on the dashboard and on the doors. Electric seats, which are also memory, they have memory function, and the Harman Kardon audio system. You have aluminium paddles down there for your driving with some rubber to help your feet grip better on them. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the walk around. Now I'm gonna try and show you guys the engine, because I feel like you can't do a video on this generation of AMG and not show the engine. Just give me a moment. Okay, so the heart of the beast. So this is the M156. So it's a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 pushing about 336 kilowatts, which is around 450 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque. So it is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, which has a wet clutch setup, and obviously being an AMG, it adopts the one-man one engine philosophy. So these are handcrafted or hand-built engine by a single technician at the Affalterbach factory. So you can get an upgrade for this engine, which will bump up the power to about 470 horsepower, which should be about an extra 10 to 15 kilowatts, which is really crazy. Now this engine has featured in plenty of other great AMGs from this era, from the likes of the SLS AMG to the CLK 63 cars, including the Black Series, the Edition 507 of this car, the Black Series edition of this car, and plenty others. So it is a marvel of an engine. So right now I think we should listen to how it sounds. So guys, you joined me inside the W204 Mercedes C63 AMG. Okay, done. Didn't disengage the handbrake properly there. But yeah, we're in the W204 C63. Just gonna go for a quick drive because Jay actually needs to head out. But I'm actually interested to see how this car actually drives. Okay, where are the indicators? This side, right? Okay. The good thing is a couple of weeks ago we did the video on the W205, so my memory on that is still pretty fresh, so I'm going to compare the two to see how they drive. Obviously the W205 has a bit more power and more torque, but this has a naturally aspirated engine, which is always a big win. Sound wise, obviously this will sound way better, like it'll blow the W205 out of proportion. But yeah, let's try out one acceleration here. I'm actually driving in comfort mode, but I've just switched to sport mode. Jeez, it's actually really quick. And like with the W205, it actually likes to spin up the tires at the rear, so you do need to be a bit cautious. But geez, that sound is very intoxicating. The transmission is pretty quick, but I think the downside only comes when you try to use the pedal shifts. They're not that responsive. Like I've already mentioned, this has a wet clutch setup, so the shifts are pretty quick. So it goes through shifts in about 0.1 seconds, which is very fast. So if you leave it in auto, it just shifts really well. But obviously the big highlight on this is just simply the sound. Like, it sounds really insane. Like, even just driving it nice and slowly like this, the sound is constantly there. Like, it just sounds insane. But maybe I should try manual so I can do some downshifts and stuff. Transmission is very aggressive as well when you shift in between gears. Indicators. I'm just gonna turn around here. But otherwise, everything else, like, the car feels very solid. Like, it feels really sporty. It's a very big car. You have a very huge bonnet out in front of you, but it's not intimidating to drive. I think this is my first time driving something like this. By something like this, I don't actually know what I mean, but I don't know, this kind of engine setup, yeah, it's very different, man. It's really insane. So is it worth it now in 2022? Definitely. Obviously, I also believe these are actually gonna start going up and up in price, because they're actually quite desirable with everything going turbocharging, hybridization, and so on. These are very desirable right now because the naturally aspirated sound, it's just in a different league, man, compared to modern day cars. So I guess that's what makes these cars very appealing. But yeah, I'm in an awkward situation right now. Jeez, how am I gonna jump out to that other side? Should I go down?
Yeah, I think it'll be easier.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Maybe make a U-turn all the way down there.
Yeah, just in front of where that guy in the white shirt is walking.
Okay.
And pull in there. Maybe into this driveway.
That driveway?
There.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean right there. Made it. So yeah, this is definitely worth it. Like, the performance is really up there. Is this person going straight?
It looks like it.
Oh, okay. The robot is open, so I thought maybe they're not seeing that it's open, but anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, today's time, this car is absolutely worth it. Like, this has a more special factor to it compared to the cars that are following after it. I mean, the latest generation C63 now is going to be a 4-cylinder hybrid, which is really a pity. So I don't think those cars will ever be able to touch this one. They'll obviously be much faster, but I think this will always put a smile on your face simply because of that glorious sound. Like, it just sounds like a muscle car, man. This is really the German muscle car. So yeah, performance times, this thing can accelerate from 0 to 100 in about 4.4 seconds ish, thereabout. Yeah, which is decently quick, you know. But yeah, we're gonna try another acceleration right here. Hit the red line. So I think if I was in something like a Golf R, it would have changed up for me, because those cars, even when you have it in manual, it still changes up for you when you have it in manual, which is a pity. This one doesn't. It keeps the revs. I actually forgot that I'm in manual, so I put it back into auto now. Jeez. The sound on upshifts is just insane. Goodness me. I'm gonna try to go back into manual now so that I can do downshift. That sound is just insane. I mean, guys, this is, man, this is, I don't know, I'm out of words. I really don't know. Just make out what you want to think about this car, like, but I'm pretty sure you guys can tell that this is a very, very special car. Like, the sound is literally unmatched, guys. Want to try drop my window as we get rolling, and then we'll hear how it sounds with the window down. But I think that's gonna be my conclusion right there. So I'm just waiting for the traffic light to go green, and yeah, let's hear how it sounds with the window down. Sounds interesting. Guys, just listen to this car, man. Gee, that sounds insane. Also, the burbles on this are actually really insane. Anyways, that's guys, peace out. Nothing more to say. That's the end of the video.